Good evening, you lot, and it is a fantastic evening. It might not be evening for you, but it's evening for me. Now, I thought to myself, you know what, I've got spare. This is going to take longer than 10 minutes. I know it is, because it wouldn't do if I was talking to you lot, but because I'd be talking to you lot, it's going to take more than 10 minutes. But normally, if I'm just doing it to someone, it won't take very long at all. But anyway, I've got a spare 10 minutes. Probably going to turn into 20 or 30 or 40 minutes, but it doesn't matter. I thought to myself, let's actually fix this Hobao Hyper7. Now, there's a bit of a palaver going on. Look, I've got a new needle here, a genuine Hobao one. A bit of a palaver went on with it, just because I like to chat a load of rubbish. I'm going to tell you the story of how the palaver happened. Now, you lot won't believe it, right? What a palaver for that. It's been probably weeks now. Now, what happened was, I put it to the side, I put that OS carb on that Hyper7, didn't I? Took it for a test drive. It was a bit topsy-turvy because that carburetor needs a little bit of a rebuild. The O-rings about it, they're leaking a little bit, they're not very good. And I said, what I'm going to do, because for those of you that don't know, what I did was, I actually broke, this is the original Hobao carb, this is the needle, I snapped it off, look, it's no good anymore, I snapped it off, needs a new one, that'll never focus, there you go, so this is why this has all come about. But I was rummaging around in my little box of tools, little toolboxes, because the thing is, I make it sound like I've got like a big barn thing. I haven't, I've got a tiny little shed. What you see behind me is pretty much everything. It's just a wall there, there's a wall and a door, and that's it. I've got tins like this, full of little bits and bobs, all over the place. So I was rummaging around and I come across a needle. Like, I come across this, basically. It's an old one, not a new one. Come across that, and I thought, that is perfect. That's exactly what I need. Put it in my pocket, right, in my shorts. Put me in my pocket, I forgot about it, right. I forgot about it for days. The shorts went in the washing basket, went through the washing machine. The needle was still inside, or the housing, whatever you want to call it, was still inside the pocket. Anyway, I forgot about it. And then I remembered, and I thought, where's that gone? Where's it? I couldn't find it nowhere. And I thought, oh well, I just have to buy one, right? So I went on the internet, found a shop, Model Shop Direct, RC Models Shop Direct, right? And I thought, right, okay, I'll just order it from there. So I did order it from there. A week passed. A whole week passed. And I hadn't had any email or anything to say it's been posted. I thought, well, it must have been posted. It's been a whole week, you know. So I sent them a little message, just to say, like a little email, just to say, hi. I haven't yet received this. I'm worried it might be a bit lost in the post. Do you have any idea where it is, please? And they and actually, just as I sent that, about an hour later, I got an email saying it'd been dispatched. So cheeky, that is, very cheeky. But I got a reply from them saying it can take up to it can take up to a week to dispatch items because we have another business. And I thought to myself, what kind of bloody service is that? Now, if I find a product, a service or a shop which I think is good, I like to show you lot and I tell you lot and I go on about it. That's why I go on about Answer RC a lot and Will Spin Models a lot, because they're bloody brilliant, right? But when I also like to say, when I find shops and products and services that aren't so good, I do like to tell you lot as well, just to sort of warn you, just in case. Because quite frankly, if these shops, these places want good feedback and people to say good things about them, they need to provide a good service. So it's been 2 weeks. I ordered that 2 weeks prior to, well, just over 2 weeks. I've had just a couple of days to making this video. So what a palaver. Anyway, I've since found the one that's in my pockets, by the way. So I've now got two, because I put my shorts on the other day, put my hand in my pocket, and there was the needle. But I'd already ordered this, but it hadn't yet been dispatched. I was going to cancel it, but I thought, no, I've ordered it. I'm going to make them bastards actually send it to me now. So, anyway, there we go. Little bit of a story. That's what we've got. So, let's first, let's clean that carb, and then we'll put it on. It'll be minty perfect. I'm even going to put new O-rings in it as well. Yeah, you definitely can't provide a bad service and then expect people to say good things about you. You know what I mean? So that's really why there's quite a few shops that I have reached out to in the past, but they're not interested in working with me because because I say the truth about things, you know. I don't, you know, if something's bad, I'll say it's bad. And I will tell people as well. I will tell people everything. And a lot of shops and things are a bit scared of that, you know. So they don't work with people like me. But when I come across either a shop, a product, a service, something like that, which I genuinely think is good, I will tell you lot. That's why I tell you lot about a lot of things, you know. That's why I go on about Answer RC, and I go on about models, not Model Sport, they're not so good. Model Sport always seem to be expensive compared to everywhere else for some reason. And Wheelspin Models, they're alright. The customer service is alright, but they don't really know what they're talking about a lot of the time, but they're good, Wheelspin Models. So that's why I do that. But as I say, equally, when I come across things that aren't so good, I will tell you. I will say, look, I've done this, I bought this, I got it from here, and it was not that good. You know? If these companies want people to say good things about their experiences buying from them, then they need to provide a good service. And in my opinion, taking over a week to send out a little needle like that, and then coming back with the excuse of it may take over a week or up to a week to post items because we do have another business. Well, the fact that you've got another business isn't my problem. I've bought something from you and paid for it, and you haven't even posted it within a week. I mean, I understand a couple of days. No, not a couple of days is fine, but a whole week, you know, it's a bit. Yeah, to be honest, I think what happened was, I genuinely think what happened was, I think my order got overlooked or forgotten about. And when I sent that message to say, where is it? They saw that and thought, oh, bloody hell, we've missed that. And that's why I got the email straight away to say that it had been dispatched. But then they didn't want to admit that they'd sent it, that they'd overlooked it or forgotten about it. So they come up with a little excuse, which I think the excuse is worse. I'd rather have the truth, and I'd rather have them say, well, I'm really sorry, we did forget about your order. It's now been dispatched. I'd have just said, fine, no problem at all. You know? But anyway, let's put that, oops, let's put that. No, am I going to need to put a new O-ring in it? I probably am. Let's see. That's not bad, actually. I was going to put a new O-ring in it, but that's not... It's not awful. Let me get the kit out and see. I've got this kit here. Look. It's not a carbo ring kit before any of you start getting excited. But it's a little O-ring kit that I've been using for donkey's years now. And these have lasted me a hell of a long time. And they are, I don't think they're nitro resistant. They're definitely not. But I've got one of these little O-rings in the MP9, and it's so far holding up fine. Yeah, this one's gone a little bit flat. I don't know whether you can see that. No, it's gone flat, and that's why it's easy to turn. And the thing is, when they go like this, not only do they turn themselves, but also they leak a little bit. They leak a little bit of air, so you can have an engine that's not quite running right. You'll be playing around trying to tune it, you know, and it'll always keep running lean now and again because it'll be an air leak. Now that washer's a lot more proud there now. Not ideal. It's slightly too big, slightly too fat, but it might be alright. Now what I'm going to use, a little bit of this dielectric grease. Obviously it doesn't need to conduct electricity, so the fact that it's dielectric is not important, but it's just grease. Now that is because this O-ring is a little bit fatter, and then what can happen is, had it happened in the past, when you put it in there, it pinches it and then it splits it. So we need to be careful of that, and just put that in there rather gently like that. Yeah. Try and get it to go past there really, because it's ever so slightly too fat. But if I can get that thread to catch, it should be alright. Can be tricky sometimes when the O-ring is too big. But if I can just get that just to go in there like that. Go on. Go on. That's it. That thread's caught now. That's it. Is it going in? Not quite. I thought it was. Go and get a spanner. Right, got that in there flush. Now let's use my little. Am I going to use a new one? I might as well use a new one. Might as well not use the old one. So we'll put that little washer there. In fact, the fat one, the wider one has got to go on that side. Or wider, whatever you want to call it. Fatter one. And that should hopefully thread in there nicely. There we go. Where do we want it? About there somewhere. Now let's do this. Yeah, there we go. That's very, very stiff now. That's certainly not going to be winding itself out anytime soon. Hopefully it seals alright. Oops. Very, very stiff. Let's do that up. Not too tight because it will strip it out if you're not careful. So let's put this out a bit. I'm going to do it just below flush. Just below flush. I know some of you are going to be saying, well, you should be counting the turns and doing the correct factory settings because that's what you should be doing. But you don't know me by now. That feels fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't know me by now. I don't do things by the book. I do things just however it feels like I should be doing it at the time. So that's that. Let's put all of this away and then we can get the buggy here and put it on. Right, there it is. Got the Mr. OS carb and the bloody cable tying up around it. I didn't expect to be sorting this out quite this soon, so I've cable tied the air filter on. Oh, bastard. There we go. By the way, hope those of you that are in Florida are all okay. I'm trying to get a person from every country, and I've had a few Floridians come across. I was looking for an Orlando. I don't think I've had anyone from Tampa, or did I? Anyway, I think Tampa's had it now, hasn't it? Tampa Bay, whatever you call it. But I hope you're all right. Nothing's too bad. I was watching Fox Weather. I was watching Fox Weather live as the hurricane was going on. And I don't think it was as bad as what it was forecast, was it? But I was watching it anyway, thinking to myself, bloody hell. Pretty crazy, man. Take that off of there. That can go in there. Oops. That should come loose now. There we go. Yeah, this OS carb, it does need a rebuild itself, and by a rebuild I just simply mean it needs new O-rings and it proper ones. I might order some and actually rebuild this carburetor and actually use it. I might put it on something. I might even put it on a Nova or something. I don't know. Bit of fun. I think probably, I know this is going to be an argument. I'm going to cause an argument here, but I'm going to say I reckon the Nova carbs are probably just as good. I do like a Nova carb. They're very good carburetors and they tune very, very easily. those Novas. But anyway, let's put that there. Right, there's a... I could probably renew that O-ring around there, but I'm not gonna. So let's put that on there. That can go plonk like that. Nice, very nice, very nice. That's in the wrong place, but we'll address that. Can't see much, can you? I've got a habit of doing things like that and you can't see anything. Really, I need a bigger bench, but one day when I'm a millionaire, because I can, you know, make YouTube videos, so that obviously makes me a millionaire one day. And what I'll do is I'll buy a bigger bench, and probably one where you can sit on the other side of it, you know. Well, there's not a wall on the other, on one side, and then we can all be happy. Anyway, so that's okay there. Let's attach the throttle linkage. That's the throttle linkage. Let's just move that. That needs to come up a bit. How shall I have that? Shall I have it like that? Like that, do you think? Well, I don't really like it facing down. Some people do. I don't really. Could have it that way. No, that's just awkward. I think like that, to be honest. Sideways. There's going to be, people are going to go, well, did you know, if you have it sideways, this happens, that happens, blah, blah, blah. I don't give an uncle's monkey. I mean, you're talking to the wrong bloody person. Right, all my tools are away. Carb is on. Needle is there, that's on there. Right, air filter on there. I'll put a cable tie around it in a minute. Let's just fire her up first. Make sure she runs. Gonna have to adjust that because we've got different linkages now as well. Well, that gives us full throttle. Now, what are we on? I'll tell you what. Well, that's on the neutral position. So, in order to mend that problem, I don't know whether you can see it, right? Hopefully you can. I'll zoom in a little bit so I can explain what I'm doing. Right, let's get that out of the way. Look. Right, so if you can see there, right, that is full throttle, right? And then you think it go to tick over, but no, because if I do the brakes, see the throttle moves a little bit. That would be revving up a little bit, and a lot of you have that trouble. So what I need to do is get another Allen driver because I broke my other one. I need to get a new 1.5 millimetric bloody Allen tip because I bloody somehow managed to snap it off. Anyway, undo that and let that just ping back into its natural position, right? And that goes like that. And then all I've got to do, now I get full throttle and it goes back to tick over. Full throttle, and it is getting full because I'm looking down in the hole there. Full throttle, tick over, right? And nothing's happening when I do the brakes, no twitching. So that is fully working, happy as dappy, and that is what we need. Right, so we've got nitro in there? We have. Let's prime it up. Prime it up, baby. Bloody hell, that's not primed well. You should have seen that shot in there like a bloody rocket. Serious stuff. Let's get a glow starter. You're very, very zoomed in. Here we go. Don't forget, it is going to need quite a bit of adjustment probably. Might need a little bit of throttle to get it going, I don't know yet. A little bit more priming maybe. What we got here? Well, the old glow starter's not very... Let's try this one. It's even worse than the first one. wants to go, doesn't it? I think this engine likes to be heated up, to be honest. It'd probably start better if I heated it up. Don't really need to. The temperature's 3 degrees Celsius, but let's give it a heat up anyway. I know what you're going to say. It should start without being heated up. Blah, blah, blah. I know, but don't forget, it ain't been running for a long time. Then I gave it a blast with that OS carb on it, which wasn't really any good anyway, because it was leaking air. And now it's got a carburetor on it, which hasn't really got good settings, because I haven't set them properly. So it needs a bit of help, you know. So what we'll do is we'll just give it a little bit of help. A little bit of heat. Should fire up. And then when I go and give it a test drive, I can get it tuned nicely where it will start at any temperature. The key is not to worry too much, you know? Don't panic too much and we'll be alright. Right, it's a bit warmer now. Probably doesn't help, but we've got no copper washer on the glow starter, glow plug. Okay. Alright. We're reaching that one, and that's cock. But I reckon this one's probably a bit of trouble. Now, when it was running, so I've never ran it with this car, but we know this. But my friend did run it, and he said it was running well, so it shouldn't need that much adjustment. Running like an absolute dream. What more could you ask for? Took a little while to get started, but that's I'm not worried about that. That's probably because a couple of things hasn't been started or ran properly for a while. In fact, it hasn't even been started for a couple of weeks, few weeks. You know, that carburetor's not been used, blah blah blah, all things I'm not interested in. The fact of the matter is it's started up now and it runs really well on the bench. Ticks over nicely, revs alright. So next thing to do is go and give it a test drive with that actual carburetor. A lot of people say that those carburetors aren't any good, and people say that the best thing I could have done was to put that carburetor on it. But the trouble is, I want to sell this, and I don't want to sell it with my OS carb. I want to sell it with the original carb that come on it and everything, so nothing is actually personally mine. You know, it's all come with the buggy itself. So that be the plan, my friends, that be the plan. Anyway, there we go. One Hobao Hyper7 with a brand new needle. There's the old one. Some people said you could always glue that together and try and I'm not really interested in trying to glue that together on there. I don't think it, well, it might hold, but I think not really interested. I'm going to keep that. Put it in my little tin of bits and bobs. Happy days. I probably would do a whole video on rebuilding Nitro carburetors because I've done one in the past, but that was a while ago. Perhaps I should do an updated version, do a new one, you know, modern, even though it'll be exactly the same because nothing's changed. But what I probably should do is get an actual kit of O-rings. I'm not really sure we can get a kit. I know we can get individual ones for individual carbs, but there must be a kit out there with all the different O-rings for different carburetors, although they're going to be roughly the same, but the small carburetors for the smaller engines are going to be slightly different, but there must be something out there. And if I get a kit of them, I can just rebuild any carb whenever I want. I'll look into that. Maybe I can do something like that. If not, I just have to keep buying individual ones, or use my little kit of O-rings that aren't rated to any kind of fuel resistance, but they work quite well. But they're slightly too big, but that's not the end of the world. They work fine. So anyway, stick around if you like that sort of thing. I've also got the Thunder Tiger, which I've just mended, which is going to be due for a test drive. This Thunder Tiger SSK, I've just mended it. I swapped it for a Mammoth steam engine, and it was meant to be a really hard restoration, but it turned out to be quite an easy one. The engine runs really, really well. It's sat in someone's shed. The air filter was rotten, mouldy. There was a lot of rust on it, a lot of penetrating fluid and WD-40, and I've got it to a point now where it works fine. The servos work, everything works. I mended the rear diff in the last video because a little cut thing, cut the grub screw had come loose, but now that's due for a test drive. So we've got two cars there. They're going to be due for a test drive at the next opportunity that I get. So stick around if you like that sort of thing, and thanks for watching. Treat people nice, treat people how you would like to be treated, but bear in mind that the way you like to be treated might not always be how others like to be treated, but use it as a rule of thumb and just be nice to people and accept people for who they are, and we should all have a nice happy life. Cheerio you lot, all the best.